हाँ भाई, सब राजी खुशी भाई, क्या हाल चाल है तुम्हारे? राम राम सबको। सब राजी खुशी, सब ठीक ठाक। खांसी हमारी अब भी ठीक नहीं हुई है, बट वी आर स्टिल रीडिंग द बुक वाल्मीकि's रामायण। हमने सात नहीं, हमने एटलीस्ट 11 चैप्टर शायद कंप्लीट कर लिए थे लास्ट टाइम, तो हम उसी को कंटिन्यू करेंगे। बट सी, अभी थोड़ा सेटअप थोड़ा गड़बड़ है, राइट? आई गेस जब मैं बुक पढ़ रहा हूँ या जब मैं वो बुक पढ़ रहा हूँ ऑनलाइन, तब उसमें मैं नहीं आ रहा हूँ वहाँ पे। और वो थोड़ा शायद छोटी स्क्रीन भी है जिसमें तुम लोग देख रहे, मतलब जिसमें मैं बना रहा हूँ, तो मे भी शायद मुझे भी रीडिंग करने में दिक्कत आ रही है। ये सेटअप मैं चेंज करने वाला हूँ, मुझे थोड़ा टाइम दो, लाइक 1-2 हफ्ते और। आई एम वर्किंग ऑन समथिंग। क्योंकि मुझे गेम भी खेलना है पीएस पे ना, तो मुझे थोड़ा सेटअप थोड़ा बड़ा करना पड़ेगा। आई नीड अ few more things to do things properly. So I'll definitely do that. I need some time as well. But still, ऐसा तो नहीं कि जब हमारे पास कोई चीजें नहीं है तो हम उन जो हमारे पास रिसोर्सेज हैं हम उनका यूज ना करें। ऑब्वियसली हम उनका यूज करने वाले हैं। तो कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा, एवरी स्टेप मैटर्स। सो until we have all the resources we need, or we think we need, let's utilize the resources we have already to their fullest, so that nothing is getting wasted, because we are the one who sees the glass is half full, not the glass is half empty. We take advantage or we use what we have. That's how we have been raised, and that's how we're going to live. We always see the brighter side toward it so that we could be happy in our life. And that's what we are trying to do. I'm completing my dream of reading Ramayana in its original context. So I'll be reading as it is from Sanskrit to Hindi English translation. I will be reading the English translation of it. So let's not waste much of our time then. Let's go and read the book. Today we will be reading chapter 12, I guess. 12 it would be. And thank you so much for supporting. Although you're not supporting, I don't mind either, because it's my dream. I don't care who likes it or not like it, but it's my dream. I'm completing it. I'm fully enjoying it. That should be the first reason of doing it at all. That should be the first reason. If you're enjoying it, you should do it. Nobody, don't think if nobody is giving a damn or no, or anyone is appreciating or no. Who gives a damn? You like it, you do it. That's how you should live a life. So that's what I'm trying to teach you over here. That's what I'm trying to do over here. So let's begin. Valmiki chapter 12 of Bala Kanda Ramayan. Let me just share my screen and then we go to the party section. Let me just share my screen. There goes my screen, I guess. I mean, there you can see my screen. So let's begin with the what? ओए, हाँ, तो यहाँ क्योंकि मैंने अभी जूम क्रो ब्रेव यूज करता हूँ मैं, बट नो वरीज। अच्छा, हर टाइम एक नया ब्रेव का वो स्टार्ट हो जाता है। दिस इज व्हाट वी रेड लास्ट टाइम। आई बिलीव दिस इज व्हाट चैप्टर 11। व्हाई आई एम नॉट एट द बॉटम? This is what chapter? Thus, this is the chapter 11 of Bala Kanda. So we have completed chapter 11. Now we are supposed to go back and start the chapter 12 of our favorite book, which has a title of Dasharatha readiness. Yeah, ready to perform Ashwamedh ritual. How beautiful it is. So let's start chapter 12 of Bala Kanda Ramayan. Let's see what we have over here. That start as King Dasharatha requests the sages to conduct the Vedic ritual, for which the sage indent paraphernalia, which the ministers are ordered to supply forthwith. This chapter is almost a replication of chapter 8, expecting the inclusion of reference to sage Rishyasringa, who by now is available in Ayodhya. Great. After a lapse Sometime when spring season has come, that the king Dasharatha desired to perform the Vedic ritual. Then, bowing his head before the Brahmana sage Rishyasringa, who is glow is like that of a deity. King Dasharatha warily beseeched that sage to conduct Vedic ritual on his behalf as he wished to beget progeny to maintain his family line. Sage Rishyasringa, who by now is well honored by the king, said to the king, "So it shall be. Let the paraphernalia for ritual be guarded, and let your ritual horse be released as a prerogative, and let the ritual place be decided on the northern bank of Sarayu River." Then King Dasharatha said to his best minister Sumantra, "Let the Vedic scholar and ritual conductors like sage Sujanya, Vamadeva, Jabali, and Kashyapa, along with the family priest Vashishta, as well as other Vedic Brahmins that are there, they all be invited swiftly." Then Sumantra, being a quickest person, went quickly and fetched all those Vedic scholars and clergymen. Then the virtuous king Dasharatha, having offered due worship to all the sages and saints brought by Sumantra, uttered these words, which were with virtue and meaning in an impressible manner. My mind is tumulus, tumultuous without quietude, for I have no sons. Hence I am thinking of performing the Vedic horse ritual for progeny. I wish to perform the ritual as enshrined in the scripture, and by strict observance, I wish to get my desire fulfilled through the divine influence of the sage son Rishyasringa. Then splendid is this idea, said the Brahman scholar, blessing the king. Then sage Vashishta, along with all other important personalities, have applauded the idea that has come out of the king's voice. And all those Vedic scholars and clergymen keeping Rishyasringa at helm of affairs said this to the king in appreciation of that idea. Being a virtuous, thinking of begetting sons through Vedic ritual has come to you. You will by all means get 4 sons with boundless valor. Let ritual paraphernalia be garnered, and let your ritual horse be released, and let the ritual place be decided on the north bank of Sarayu River. The Vedic seer thus blessed Dasharatha. Then the king is gladdened to hear the blessing advice of the Vedic scholar, and he spoke to the other minister of his court with happiness derived from those good words. The king said to his executives, "As advised by my Vedic teacher, let the paraphernalia of my ritual be procured. Let the ritual horse be released, guarded well by gallant men in its journey, and let the religious teacher follow that horse as per tradition. Let the ritual place be decided to the northern bank of Sarayu River. Let the peace invocation be prevailing and prospering throughout as ordained in scriptures and tradition. All the king on this earth would have performed this horse ritual if only they can perform this without a mistake. Thus, this is a great and difficult ritual. The Brahman demon will be hunting for the fault performed in the ritual, whereat they were interject themselves into the proceeding of the ritual in order to ruin it. Further, the performer of the ritual also get ruined if there will be faults. This is why this ritual shall be conducted flawlessly till its conclusion, and with absolute adherence to scriptures. Since all of you assembled here are efficient one in conducting such ritual without fault, I hope you all will organize carefully. In appreciation of his orders, all the ministers replied to the king, saying, "It will be done accordingly." And indeed, they have faultlessly carried out as ordered. Then all the Brahmins applaud the virtuous king, and who is like a sacred bull along the kings for his virtuous endeavor of undertaking the Vedic ritual. With his permission, all of them return from there as they have come. On the departure of the prominent Brahmin, King Dasharatha sent off those ministers who are still available there for further order from king, and then he, the great resplendent king, has entered his own palace. The Indian the Indian yearly time cycle is of two kinds. One in on northern solstice, solstice, and the other southern solstice. The season are 12, and every month is a season, and they are calculated by almanacs based on the star position every year. They roughly compare with the following Gregorian months as below. This is the end of the chapter 12. Hemanta, winter, Shishira, cold, Vasant, spring, Grishma, hot, Varsha, rainy, Sharat, post rainy. So we have completed chapter 12. Let's see what we have for chapter 13. Ashwamedh Yag begins, sage Vasishta arrangement. King Dasharatha requests sage Vashishta, the royal priest, to commence work for the Vedic ritual. Sage Vashishta instruct all the concerned about the discipline to be observed in executing the work. Sage Vashishta also instruct the minister Sumantra to invite various king of other countries, and those king will be received with great hospitality. King Dasharatha, along with his wife, take ritual vow and enter the ritual hall. On completion of one full year, another springtime arrived, and then Dasharatha, a determined one to beget progeny by performing horse ritual, entered the ritual hall. Greetings, greeting and even adoring the sage Vashishta customarily, Dasharatha said these very humble words to him. Let my ritual be performed scripturally, O eminent Brahman, let it be conducted in such a way that no obstacle occur, even in its ancillary functions. You, being my very revered royal priest, are friendly and kind-hearted to me, and you alone shall shoulder the burden of the commenced ritual in all good faith and credence. That that reverend Brahman Vashishta said to the king, "Whatever that is requested or decided by you, I will see that all of them are materialized accordingly." Then sage Vasishta then summoned and spoke to elderly Brahman scholars and elderly architect who are all proficient and elderly expert in conducting the construction of the ritual hall, etc. Then summoned are the construction supervisor, brickmaker, carpenter, earth digger, accountant, and sculptors. So also the actors and dancers are summoned. Thus, flawless scholars in scripture and those men who are well read in Vedas are called. And he addressed them, saying, Performance of the ritual be organized by the order of king. Bricks in many thousand be brought quickly, and royal palace as temporary guest house be built for kingly guest, with very many facilities included in them. A detailed description of the component of Vedic ritual hall is given at the end note of the next chapter, wherein King Dasharatha entered. Vedic ritual cannot be performed in ordinary household or in small temples. A very large place is selected as per architectural signs, and it is called Homakund. An altar of fire will be constructed. This area will not have any roofing, so as to let the vapor of oblation of ghee, sandalwood paste, and other offer into the fire of altar gets into the atmosphere and thereby to heaven. Around this altar of fire, a huge shed will be constructed to accommodate thousands of participants and onlookers. Apart from this, mammoth kitchen and dining halls are to be constructed as all of the thousands of participants who are to be fed as long as ritual is conducted. Some of the many tradesmen are listed in bird's eye view as above. Like that, for the accommodating Brahman, hundred of sanctified houses be built, well endowed and well established with very many eatables, food, and portables. So also accommodation is to be given for city dwellers too, in various spacious housing and several for the kings arriving from distant places. For horse stable, reposing stall for elephant, like that great billets for soldiers may be built for those foreign country dweller arriving in here on their horses and elephants along with their soldiers. These lodging are to be arranged with many foods and utilities for the people of this city and for others coming from distant countries, and a very grand food be given in all of them. Food is to be given dutifully, treating all of them well, but not just elusively, and the people of all the caste shall be well honored as they would get their due respect, and no disrespect be shown even when overcome by passion or anger at anyone. Exceptionally respectable are those men and architects that are preoccupied in the work of the ritual as they deserve, and those men involved in these works shall be well treated with funds and foods. Thus, as to how all this be well organized without least negligence, thus you all shall administer in all your cooperation and good spirit. Thus sage Vasishta spoke to the organizers. Then all of them collectively replied to sage Vasishta, as desired, all the well ordered work will not be neglected in the least, and they will be done as ordered, and not the least of them, and not the least of them will be slighted. So said the artisan to sage Vashishta. Then, on calling for Sumantra, sage Vashishta said these words to him: let all the kings of the earth that are righteous be invited, and let all the people from all the kingdoms, says Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudras, be invited in scores, duly honoring them. So said Vashishta to Sumantra. You personally invite Janaka, the king of Mithila, a valiant one and advocate of truth, honoring his well and duly bearing in mind that he is a long time associate of our King Dasharatha. Hence, I am telling you in the first instance. Thus, that king of Kashi, who is always a friendly, affectionate, and a cordial one, indeed he shall be invited by you personally. Likewise, king of Kekia, an elderly, very virtuous, and also the father in law of our lion king Dasharatha, you personally invite him along with his sons. Romapada, the lord of Anga kingdom and the user of great bow, let that illustrious one be invited, well honored, for he is the friend of our lion king Dasharatha. Like that king of Koshala near Bhanumanta, the king of Magadha, a brave one and a profound one in all scriptural knowledge. Let them be honored well and be invited. And Prapitijna, the king of Magad, the kind hearted and best one among kings, be well honored and invited. Further, taking the order of King Dasharatha and motivated by those order, the king of Sindhu, Sovira, and Saurashtra kingdom also be invited. All of the king of the southern kingdom be invited, and shall be there any friend and other friendly king on the surface of the earth, they too shall be invited as early as possible with all their followers, relatives, through highly illustrious envoy. And of course, with the order of our king, thus sage Vashishta said to Minister Sumantra. On hearing those words of Vashishta, Sumantra expeditiously ordered devout envoy to invite all those kings to their kingdoms. That virtuous Sumantra became brisk upon sage word and personally journeyed to fetch all the rulers of the earth. All those artisans engaged in ritual work have reported Vasishta. The detail of all those rituals work that are accomplished. Then that satisfied saint and eminent Brahman Vashishta spoke this way to all of them. Nothing is to be endowed to anyone either with disrespect or deceptively. The deeds done with disrespect will kill the donor, and there is no doubt about it. Then in some days and night many kings have arrived taking precious gem with them as gift for Dasharatha. Then the well-pleased sage Vashishta said this to King Dasharatha. The king from distant kingdom have arrived at your behest. O tigerly man, and these best king are well honored by me also as per their status. All the rituals work are also completed by well coalescent men, and thus you may start toward the ritual place that is nearby to perform your ritual, said sage Vashishta to King Dasharatha. All the desirable paraphernalia is arranged and made available everywhere, and it is apt of you see ritual hall that is though built by your mere wise. Thus, on a good day, while the ruling star of the day is favorable, King Dasharatha come forth toward the ritual hall according to the advice of both the sages Vashishta and Rishyasringa. In undertaking of auspicious work, Hindus watch out for date, day and the star of the day, called Tithi, Vara, and Nakshatra in accordance with astrological import. In addition to these three, there are two more, Yoga and Karana, which were added together. This become Panchang, five aspects of time, which are essential to verify before conducting any auspicious work. Then sage Vashishta and other eminent Brahman, keeping the sage Rishyasringa ahead of them, entered the ritual hall to commence the ritual work thus. When all have entered the ritual hall as per canon and custom, that glorious King Dasharatha, along with his wife, undertook vow of ritual. This is the chapter 13 in Bala Kanda Valmiki, the first epic poem of India. So, guys, what do you think? Do you find it interesting? मुझे तो काफी अच्छा लगता है भाई. Here I am. Let me just stop sharing the screen. It stopped sharing. So, how did you find it? Camera थोड़ा आगे कर लिया था मैंने because I was reading carefully and interestingly. So, I don't know how do you feel about it. I find it very, very, very interesting, guys. I don't know, like, how do you guys feel about it? But I find it very interesting. Very interesting. French हो जाते हैं थोड़ा सा. But never mind. I don't know what to tell, but it was really lovely, lovely, very lovely. इसमें तुम्हें पॉलिटिक्स भी पता चलती है कि भाई हालांकि उन्होंने किसी को नीचा नहीं दिखाया गया है, लेकिन एंड में बोला है एज पर देयर स्टेटस. सबको बुलाओ, प्यार से बुलाओ, बट एज पर देयर स्टेटस भी बोला उन्होंने. और उन्होंने बोला सबको खाना मिलेगा. लाइक यू रेड इट राइट. आई कांट. इतना अच्छा राइटर नहीं हूं मैं कि इतना अच्छा स्पीकर भी नहीं हूं मैं कि जो उन्होंने और इतनी अच्छी मेमोरी भी नहीं है मेरी. बट मेरे पास है मेरा अनकॉन्शियस माइंड जिसके जिसके मैं ये सारी चीजें डालता रहता हूँ, है ना. Unconscious mind is very important. You can only use what? Only 10%, 12% of your conscious mind. What about the 82, 87% of your brain? Who owns it? That's the unconscious part. And you need to train your unconscious mind to do certain things. जैसे ब्रांड यूज करती हैं. येलो रेड देख के आपको भूख लगती है तो वो उस तरह का प्रोडक्ट्स पे उस तरह की पैकिंग लगाती है. अपनी होर्डिंग पे वो कलर लगती है जिससे आपका स्टमक के अंदर क्या कहते हैं, भूख को क्या कहते हैं, हंगर एक्टिवेट होता है. No, that's how they play. So it's all about unconscious mind. So it's very important, even though you don't remember, even though you're not good a storyteller, but if you want to become a better person, you need to treat your unconscious mind in that way so it learns all the things. So let's see what we can do apart from that. सॉरी, गला सूख गया शायद मेरा. अभी एवरेंड का मैं एक चैप्टर, एक बुक मिली थी मुझे एवरेंड में ना, तो वहीं पे डिस्कस करते हैं. लेट्स एंड दिस सेशन राइट नाउ. आई विल कम बैक इन मे बी 10-15 minutes after having a glass of water. We will start another session of our book and let's see what we have on that. So because ये तो बहुत लंबा चलने वाला है. We have just reached what 13 chapters और अभी इसमें 70 chapters कुछ हैं, and that is to in the first Bala Kanda. So it's gonna take us some time to read the full book, but it's gonna be really fun. I'm telling you. I'm so sorry. I'm feeling sleepy because मैं बहुत जल्दी का उठा हुआ हूँ 5:30 in the morning and it's right now around 9, I guess. But still, I have to do some things. I'll do that and then I'll sleep. So let's sayonara. Let's say sayonara. Har Har Mahadev. Ram Ram सबको. ध्यान रखो, खुश रहो, प्यार से रहो. And let's be righteous and let's not tolerate the hypocrisy in this world we are seeing right now. So